Hey everybody, this is Briley Phillips here over at Phil Dill Boats. Today I'm just going to be going over the 2023 Regal LS6 Surf. This is if you guys are out at the lake and you need a quick reference point to know what to do, either to hook up to your trailer or to operate the boat. I'm just going to go over everything so it'll make your day nice and easy. Comment below if you guys have any questions, you want me to cover anything on any other boat in particular. Let's get to it. All right, so we're going to talk about the trailer first. We're going to start at the bow, walk around, and then we're going to get in and go for a quick lake test. So down here on the trailer, it is a 2-inch coupler, so your tow vehicle will need a 2-inch ball. To release your coupler, you're going to pull out your safety pin over here, pull up on this silver tab and pull up. That's when you'll take your trailer jack and you want to flip it down to a 90-degree angle. So let me do that real quick. So when it's nice and clicked in there, that's how you know you're good. And now that my trailer coupler is released, I'm going to crank it up to make sure that that trailer hitch comes off the ball. And then to put it back on the ball, we're just going to reverse that process. Perfect. Make sure our silver tab is back in and our pin. That pin's in there. That trailer coupler will never come up in case something were to happen. Just make sure you put that silver pin back in. Here in the state of Texas, it is a law that we crisscross our safety cables. Thought process, if the trailer ever came off the ball, your cables will actually cradle you and it won't hit the ground or slide into the tow vehicle. So we hook them up to our tow vehicle here. And we also have a breakaway cable here that hooks onto itself. We hook it right on next to the safety chains. So we feed it through itself to make it a little bit tighter there. This is here in case this were to rip out of socket, the trailer were ever to come off the ball. This releases, pulls out through the master cylinder, and it applies brake fluid to the rear axles. So this is just in case of emergencies. This will stop the trailer at any point that this comes off the ball. This right here is your 7-pin. This hooks up to your tow vehicle. This is going to allow your running lights, your blinkers, and your brake lights. There's also a blue wire in this 7-pin that sends a signal to the master cylinder solenoid to release the brakes, and that's what allows you to reverse. It is a surge-activated braking system, so when you step on the brakes on your tow vehicle, it will actually send brake fluid to the axles, and it will allow you to stop. With that saying, under this black cap is your brake fluid reservoir. It takes DOT3 brake fluid. You want to put brake fluid in there as often as you service the brakes on your car, or I would check it about once a season. Right here you do have a swing away tongue, so you'd pull this cotter pin out down here on the bottom, pull up on this brass pin, and then it will swing around, give you 2 extra feet of storage if you have it for tight storage, or if you want to use it as an anti-theft device. Right here you do have a pigtail that plugs into the boat. On the transom of the boat there are 2 brake lights, and that is wired to the trailering. So when you plug it into the bow and the anchor storage, this will send a signal to the boat brake lights, and it will just give you your blinkers. Most people are going to be looking at your nice boat than your trailer, so Regal has thought its way through and put brake lights on the boat. Those brake lights will also work as your surf system, but I'll show you that later. It's very important that before you launch, you unplug this and then wrap it up so it doesn't get wet. All right, moving on is our winch strap. We do have a safety chain here that is put in place in case this strap were to break due to old age or weathering. So this one just keeps the boat on the trailer. This one is your winch strap. In order to get this done, you want to wait until you're on the ramp to undo your strap. So in order to take your winch strap off, you're going to apply forward pressure, flip that tooth back. Make sure you keep your hand on the handle. If it swings, you let go and it swings around, sometimes it will get you on the wrist. So make sure you keep your hand on the handle, crank it back. And then when you're on the ramp, go ahead and detach from the trailer winch, launch, and go have fun for the day. When you're done and you're coming back to trailer, make sure you hook that strap up, flip this tooth forward, Crank it nice and tight. That way your boat won't do any bouncing on your way home by hitting any potholes. Up here in the bow, you will have your windlass anchor. Under this locker here, you will have your battery controls for it and all of your extra rope. Here you have your navigational lights, your red and your green for port and starboard, and you will have your anchor light or your white light up on the tower. They put this on a U-ball joint so that way you can hide it or have it shown for any time of the day. You will use these when you're moving underway at night only. This is to let other boaters know which side of the lake you're on. Working our way around, this is your horn. You have 3 fixed cleats on each side. These are your docking lights. These are LED lights that are intended for docking or trailering only at night. You do not want to use these as headlights. They're very bright and they can be seen from across the lake, so you want to be courteous to other boaters and not blind them. These 3 are your ballast overflow discharge. So when your ballasts are overflowing, this is where they'll be pouring out just to let you kind of keep that as an equivalent drain. They'll drain out just to let you know your bags are filling and they don't want to overflow. It is a tandem axle trailer. It has an enclosed bearing buddy system, so you don't have to worry about greasing your bearings at any time. It takes 50 pounds of pressure in the tires, 50 in the winter and 45 in the summer. And then your lug nuts take 90 pounds of foot torque on there, and you want to do that once a season or every 100,000 miles. Right here you will have your floor drain. So if water accumulates in the cockpit, this is where that water will be draining out of. This one is your bilge discharge. So in your engine compartment there is a bilge pump. So if water would accumulate in there, if you forgot to leave your drain plug out or anything were to take on water, you will have water coming out of here. You do not want to see water coming out of your bilge discharge. You need to get to your trailer, get back to your slip pretty quickly, because then you know you have a problem. Your gas and this little vent right here, so when you're putting in gas, this is where that oxygen will be coming out of. Here at Phil Dill Boats, we put mid-grade fuel in. We recommend to at least put a mid-grade fuel in there. Your best gas will be on premium, of course. But at the end of the season, we do recommend that you do put a fuel stabilizer in there. That will keep your octane levels from dropping. And I always recommend, if you're going to be storing it for a long time, have your gas tank about 1/4 of a tank full. Run that fuel stabilizer in there one last time. So pour it in there, run it one last time so it's in your fuel treatment, and then store it with a 1/4 tank. That way when you start off for the season in the spring, you top it off with fresh gas. So here in the transom, I just want to go over a couple little things. So I've already taken off our ratchet straps that will hook on from the transom eye of the boat to the trailer hook. That will keep the boat from bouncing, like I said, on any potholes. It will just tie the back of the boat to the trailer. This is the 2.0 system of Regal Surf System, or Volvo Surf System. So here on the transom, the surf tabs are a little bit bigger. Most important part is the drain plug. So that is all the way under this drive here. And it is plastic, so you do want to be mindful about cross-threading it. And once it's nice and tight in there, we'll be ready to go. There is a waste tank on here, so you do want to be mindful about pulling up to a gas dock that if any of your deckhands are helping, make sure they put gas into your gas vent and on your waste tank. And then again, when you're at the gas dock, if you need to empty out your waste tank, that is where you will do it. All right. So now we're ready. Let's hop in and we'll go for a lake test. So under this seat compartment here, let me hop down so you can get a better view. There is a battery switch in here. You have your onboard charger and then all of your fuse breakers. For today on the demo, I am going to flip it on to on. And typically while you're out here, you will run it on. If for some reason you guys come out here and you have a dead battery, put it on to the yellow switch, which will be the emergency parallel. That will run your batteries on an alternator and start charging them while you're running the boat. So for today, we're going to be putting it on. And then if you look over here, you do have 2 fuse breakers for your windlass and your dash main. If for some reason you're not getting power to your dash, come over here and check your breaker. So here under your engine compartment, with the 2.0 system, they did different ballast bags. They're carabinered in there, so they are hooked on to the fiberglass. Now on the motor, this is a 350 V8. Really everything you're going to want to be checking is your engine oil. So here's your dipstick here in yellow. Oil filter is going to be under this red piece, and your oil fill is here under this black cap. To winterize this boat, you have a blue easy drain right here. You pull your cotter pin out, push down on drain, and then it drains all the water from the manifolds. And after you hear that water stop running, you can either pull that pin back up and put your cotter pin back in there. Typically, if it were me, I would keep that drain down until the next time I come out. But when you are ready to use the boat and it's summer again, or you want to go out on a nice winter day, pull that blue drain back up and put your cotter pin back in. It's very important to put that cotter pin back in there, because when you start the boat, and if that weren't in there, the suction from the motor will actually pull that blue pin back down there and cause a little bit of issues. So make sure you put that pin back in there and you will be good. There is a water pump impeller in there down here at the bottom of the boat. You want to change that about once, if not every other year. It's very important on a new boat. Your first service is at 20 hours. After that, 50 hours, and every 100 after that. You want to keep it like your car and service it as often as you would. So keep up with it. So with the hard top, I'm going to show you how to lower it and change the angle of the top part. So right here you see that it says lock up and lock down. So we're going to release that, and by doing that we pull on them and release the tension on those. It's a little hard, and you can see that it's already starting to rotate. So when you're wanting to bring the tower down, you're going to angle the top of the hard top upwards. And then when it's up, we're going to flip those down. And then I always like to double check it, and now it's stuck down. Okay, wrong way. Takes a couple times to get it. Perfect. So now we'll come over here on the dash. Watch your head. And we'll lower the tower down. Let me close this windshield. Perfect. So now if we get under a bridge or tight storage, now we can come under here if we get caught out in a rainstorm. This is very enclosed, and really nothing gets to you. So real quick, I'm going to show you how to set up your surf system. So right now we're on the My View screen. We're going to click Home. We are going to scroll all the way down on Vessel, and it's going to be on your Surf Control tab. Here we can set up our ballast controls. Once the boat's on, you'll have a surf left and a surf right. It'll always show you boat speed. PTA is your trim level, fuel level, and you can come in here and pick your users. For some reason you want to change and override a preset, you just click on it. And you can set your speed, so plus or minus, and then this little guy surfing, he's going to be how you activate your surf controls. So if you were to full throttle at this point while it's on, now we'll stop you at 10.4 miles per hour. You choose left or right, and then your surfer will be back there surfing. When you're done for the day, make sure you click that guy off, or the next time you try to throttle, you only get to 10.4 miles per hour and you're going to be confused. So make sure that that guy is off. This button right here is a quick launch. This is just basically telling the ECU, which is the computer in the boat, that we are about to go across the lake with our ballast full, and it'll put the trim tabs back up and allow you to go from point A to point B. This button right here is telling the boat that we are going to trailer or just go ahead and drain the bags. So this will be your drain all bags button. You can hear that it's about to kick on and start draining the bags. So now we're backed into the ramp. If you look over here on your screen, let's go to my view. It shows that we're at 41 degrees as our trim. And if I were to try and start the boat, it says cannot start, trim too high. So when you're backing into the water, you're gonna grab your throttle here and lower it down all the way to 30 degrees, right where it turns yellow. So 29, 30 degrees, and now I'll be able to start it. It's very important when you're coming off the trailer on a surf boat that you come off the trailer straight with that drive being forward facing. If you were to come off at the wrong angle, you may spin pretty quickly. So make sure that when you're backing up and your driver comes back just a little bit more, that you keep your steering wheel nice and straight. So now that I'm off the trailer, I'm going to start lowering my trim down until it gets all the way down to -5 degrees. So now that we're out here, I've already filled up our ballast bags. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to show you the surf left and surf right. So for now, we're going to turn on our surfer guy. Okay, and then now let's surf left. So now you can see that my throttle is only going to hold us at 10.4 miles per hour. So when I full throttle, it's going to stop us right at 10.4. All right. So now we're done surfing, so I'm going to hit that surf button on the right side, and I'm going to start draining all of my ballast bags by hitting that down arrow individually. Or since we're about to leave, I can hit that trailer button and it will start draining all of my ballast right there. It is important that when you're done, turn off that surfer guy, and now while the bags are draining, you can go as fast as you want because the ballast is draining underneath the boat. So thanks for watching, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and again, leave me any comments if you guys want to see anything else. Thanks, have a good one. So our lake is very low right now, so you can see our truck's backed in just a little bit deeper, but when you're typically trailering a surf boat, you want about an inch or two of your tire fender showing, or your wheel well showing, and the front of your bunk boards of the very bow showing. Since it is a surf boat, you do want to come in pretty straight, and you do want to make sure your trim's all the way back up at 30 degrees for when you're coming onto that trailer, just because your drive is a little bit shorter, and then you're going to power all the way up to that V-block on this trailer.